D.Va is based in Busan, because when the Overwatch developers looked on the map of South Korea, the biggest city in the south coast of the Korean peninsula was Busan, which was attacked by a giant Omnic. She streams combat operations to her fans, and her growing following has turned her into a global icon. You can estimate how popular D.Va is if you see this poster. It says Nano Cola, but it's obviously soju, and only top Korean celebrities like her, them, her, or him could be part of soju advertisements. Also, D.Va is a gum gum fruit user. Just kidding. Chris Metzen has described Reinhardt as kinda Don Quixote. Well, some people actually rush in like Don Quixote with too much valor when they play as Reinhardt. Roadhog's name means a selfish or aggressive driver who drives too fast or in a way which is dangerous to other people. Something funny is that Roadhog is called chopper in French. Reaper's ultimate, Death Blossom, might be a reference to a weapon used in the 1984 movie The Last Starfighter named Death Blossom, and the art of gun kata from the movie Equilibrium. The reason why Reaper can discard his guns and keep pulling out new ones is because... But how are you gonna explain it with the Blackwatch Reyes skin? Blizzard. Jesse McCree is named after a developer at Blizzard Entertainment who shares the name Jesse McCree. The engraving of McCree's belt buckle spells BAMF, which is an acronym of Badass Motherfucker. Mercer's devil skin resembles Succubus from World of Warcraft. Succubus is a female demon that appears in dreams and seduces men. So it's a bit opposite to what she is actually, because she is obviously based on angels, and her name is Angela. Her weapon, Caduceus Staff, shares the same name with the staff carried by Hermes in Greek mythology. The caduceus is the symbol of commerce and is often incorrectly used, particularly in North America, as a symbol of healthcare organizations and medical practice. Due to the confusion with the traditional medical symbol, the rod of Asclepius, which is only one snake and is never depicted with wings. The United States Army Medical Corps actually use this as their insignia. Mei's ability, Cryo-Freeze, is a reference to World of Warcraft's Ice Block. Koreans call Mei Makopath because of what she does with her endothermic blaster, her voice line, and the smile she does before shooting icicles. The name of the bird on Bastion's shoulder is Ganymede, and is named after a Trojan prince in Greek mythology. The music Bastion makes when he uses his ultimate is baseball organ. According to the story of Overwatch by GameSpot, Bastion has gone through a lot of changes. There were times when he could fly like Pharah, shoot through walls, and launch volleys of grenades up in the air. Bastion's Omnicrisis skin shows what Bastion units look like during the Omnicrisis. You can see this in Overwatch trailers or comics. Soldier 76 had the shortest design period. He was designed for people who are familiar with typical FPS games like Call of Duty, so the developers gave him an ordinary rifle as a weapon and the ability to sprint in a Chaos firing rocket launchers, flying, and swinging a giant warhammer. Also, his ultimate, Tactical Visor, is like what we call auto-aim cheat, which some bad players used in traditional FPS games. Soldier 76 was a comic book series concept by Chris Metzen, and his Daredevil skin is based on Evel Knievel, an American stunt performer. The term Daredevil is used to refer to stunt professionals, and Evel Knievel was one of the best Daredevils of all time. Widowmaker's name and her spider themes are a reference to the Black Widow spider. Widowmaker bears resemblance to the ghost of Blizzard Entertainment's StarCraft series, in terms of equipment and the use of mental conditioning. By the way, Widowmaker's butt grows when she puts her visor on. Well, I think you already knew about this. Winston is very similar to Marvel Comics character Hank McCoy, aka Beast, an animalistic person with great intellect. And his ultimate, Primal Rage, and the trailer Recall show what his glasses means to him, and what happens if you step on it. Zarya bears resemblance to a Russian Blizzard employee, Tamara Baklasheva. Torbjorn is from Sweden and his name means thunder and bear in Swedish. Torbjorn is also the name of a model of chair in the Swedish shop IKEA. Torbjorn's Molten Core ability may be a reference to the name of the raid instance in World of Warcraft called the Molten Core. Torbjorn's skin, Barbossa, is a reference to Captain Hector Barbossa, a treacherous pirate and a main character in Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean series, and Barbossa means red beard in Italian. His black beard skin is a reference to an English pirate named Edward Teach, better known as Blackbeard, who operated around the West Indies and the eastern coast of Britain's North American colonies. Torbjorn's abilities and turret bear a resemblance to the engineer from Valve's Team Fortress 2, with both of them revolving around building turrets and hitting them with their melee weapon to upgrade and repair them. Both their turrets gain double firing speed at level 2 and rockets at level 3. Junkrat is an explosives-obsessed freak and is in some way psychotic. That makes him very similar to the Joker, nemesis of Batman, who boasts a similar smile, facial structure, and state of violent derangement. Junkrat's Jester and Fool skins are reminiscent of the Joker, and his Scarecrow and Hayseed skins are similar to some depictions of the Scarecrow, another Batman villain. Zenyatta's Ifrit and Jinatta's skin is a reference to Ifrit, a supernatural creature in Middle Eastern stories. Ifrit is described as an infernal kind of jinn and has a connection to the element of fire. Zenyatta's Ra skin is named after god of the sun in the Egyptian mythology. In March to April 2016, there was a controversy relating to Tracer's over-the-shoulder victory pose, claiming that the pose was out of character. Blizzard followed through with the complaint and released a new update on April 5th, 2016, editing said pose to be more appropriate. However, some people think that her new victory pose is still inappropriate, saying that it looks like what pinup models used to do. Tracer's Posh and Sporty skins are likely references to the Spice Girl band members, Posh Spice, Victoria Adams, and Sporty Spice, Melanie Chisholm. Farrah's original design was done by Jeff Goodman. It was a simple concept of a male hero with a jetpack, simply named Rocket Dude, then changed to a female with the codename Rocket Queen, then finally became Farrah. Farrah's design, which includes the Egyptian Eye of Horus symbol around one eye and an armor reminiscent of a falcon, is a reference to the ancient Egyptian falcon god Horus, god of the sky and protector of the pharaoh. Hanzo and Genji were originally a single cyborg ninja hero named Hanzo, who wielded both a bow and a sword. They were split into two distinct heroes early in development. The attacks that Genji cannot deflect or block include Winston's Tesla cannon, Lucio's Soundwave, Zenyatta's Orb of Discord, the primary firing mode of Symetra's Photon Projector, Zarya's Particle Cannon, and Mei's Endothermic Blaster. When Hanzo equips either his Lone Wolf or Okami skins, his Dragon Strike's appearance changes to wolves, and some of his voice lines change to reference wolves instead of dragons. By the way, the sound of howling wolves are from Warcraft 3. Like Genji, whose body is mostly robotic, some people think that Hanzo also got prosthetic legs after their fight, and jokingly say that their line has died out. However, like when Genji removed his mask in the Overwatch Dragons trailer, who knows if there is something inside his pants. There are many interesting voice line Easter eggs in Overwatch. Let's check it out.
살아있다면 죽일 수 있지.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
난 그냥 사이코패스가 아니야. 고성능 사이코패스지.
Not a psychopath, Anderson. I'm a high-functioning sociopath.
난 좋은 놈, 나쁜 놈도 아니지만 확실히 못생긴 놈은 아니야.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'm your Huckleberry.
아침에 파동탄 냄새는 최고지.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
승리의 향기가 나는군.
Smells like victory.
노병은 죽지 않는다. 그리고 사라지지도 않아.
That old soldiers never die. They just fade away.
끝나기 전까진 끝난 게 아니야.
À la vie, à la mort. 한 방이면 충분해.
One shot, one kill.
휴스턴, 문제가 생겼습니다.
Houston, we have a problem.
I will break you.
I must break you.
Play nice, play Farah.
용의 영혼, 너를 택했다.
I choose you! Squirtle!